Oh, Jesus. These two packages specifically, I've been waiting for since about September to get. Especially this one right here. Canada Post went on strike earlier in the fall, and then Japan Post stopped sending stuff to Canada. Took about a month and a half, but we ended up getting the stuff back, so that was nice. I also still don't know where I'm going to put this thing. If you haven't checked out the last video on the Jinglu figure, please do so. I have my Kafka from last year's video right here, right? And you might be thinking, well, you should put Jinglu right next to Kafka. That's great, but I would have to move these 3 Sakura figures, and then I wouldn't know where to put those. And if I wanted to put her where New Jersey is, it's not an option because this spot is way too small for her to actually fit, because if you didn't notice, this thing is really tall. Decisions. Now, before we get started, I do want to thank FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. I've been using a standing desk and a chair from them for a while now, and they've been great. If you're someone like me who tends to sit at their desk for long periods of time, getting a really good ergonomic office chair is very important for your back. A few months ago, they sent me another office chair, their C7M, which is an upgrade to their previous C7, which I have used, and it's still just as great. You have the standard chair adjustments such as the height, headrest, seat depth, great lumbar support, and one of the highlighting features for the C7M are these armrests. They can be rotated completely 360 degrees. It's kind of ridiculous. They also have the option to include a footrest, so if you really like kicking back in your chair, I'd highly recommend it. It's great. So if you're in the market for an office chair that won't break the bank, I'll leave a link down below to FlexiSpot's website. They have a 10-year warranty and 30-day return-free policy. Of course, if you want an even more budget option, I'd recommend checking out their C5. Or if you want a more luxury option, check out their C7 Morpher chair. Upgrade your workspace with FlexiSpot. Use my code C730 to get $30 off of their C7 Max chairs via the link below. So I did have to stop by the postal office and grab one more package. Apparently I missed a delivery today, but we did get it. So how have you guys been? I've been doing great, thanks for asking. I've been addicted to a game that recently came out mid-November. It's called Where Winds Meet. It's a Chinese open world action RPG based off of the wuxia genre, which is like Chinese martial arts cultivation, you know, that type of thing. I actually read a lot of Chinese manhwa, so this was kind of already on the radar. I gave it a go, and my god, it's amazing. Seriously, the combat in that game, and just like the world, the whole aesthetic, I'm very biased. I'm currently playing on the legend difficulty, and the bosses do provide some very good challenge. Even when I'm getting my ass beat, I'm still having a blast playing the game. Here's the Ami card. Pretty cute. They're having tea. Very nice. The game did sort of come out at a very inopportune time though, because the Arknights Enfield closed beta test number 2 started. I got into it. I've only put about 6 hours, so I don't have a ton of time in it, but so far I am enjoying myself with Arknights Enfield. My favorite defining feature so far from Enfield is the fact that when you're out on the field, your operators are there with you. Whether you're exploring or in combat, they're right there. They're not in some interdimensional pocket waiting for you to just whip out whenever you want to use a skill from them, you know? It adds a level of immersion, and I think it's really nice. I will say the only thing I probably don't like is the factory building. I'm not a factory sim guy, so it completely just like, I don't care, get it out of the way. I mean, the original Arknights did have a base system, but it was very simple and it was very easy to understand. Whereas in Enfield, they kind of turned it up to 11, and I don't even know, like, what the heck am I looking at here? Like, are you serious? I think my only gripe with Arknights Enfield is the fact that Hypergriff decided to connect the two together story-wise. Enfield takes place 150 years after the original Arknights, and it's on a different planet. But like, there's still some things you can connect the dots to kind of infer what happened at the end of the original story. And the original story of Arknights is not over yet. So some things have already been kind of spoiled. For example, oropathy. Oropathy is a deadly disease in the original Arknights, and one of the main goals in the story is to find a cure for it. Well, Enfield shows you that oropathy is still a thriving disease in the world of Arknights, so you know.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Sure, they may have mitigated it from the deadly cancer it once was to something akin to diabetes, but still, it's not fully cured. Mission failed. Stuff like that. I really wish it was like a whole separate IP or an alternate universe. Nice. Another Ami card. I feel like they might have used this artwork before, but that could just be deja vu. Well, as you can probably tell, it is a poster of some kind. Oh yes. This is a Fate Stay Night artwork celebrating the 20th anniversary for Fate Stay Night. How good does that look? Yeah, you got the main trio on the front, Rin, Saber, Sakura. Very nice. Extremely beautiful artwork. You got fireworks in the background. They're wearing really nice dresses. I just gotta decide where to put it. We'll start off with the cheaper one out of the bunch. So we have a figure from Mythos, HSR's March 7th, the Hunt version from their Gift Plus line. So it's more of a budget figurine. It's about 6,000 yen or so. So it's pretty cheap, pretty affordable. Oh well, tariffs might have a second opinion on that. I thought she was holding bubble tea initially, but she could be holding a frappuccino of some kind because she does have whipped cream on the top there. But if you're not into the budget figures, pick yourself up something more expensive. We got Apex's March 7th, 1/7 scale. This is one of my most anticipated figures for the year. And just judging from the box, I really love the colors, right? Blue and pink. You got that nice gradient. It really matches her hair color and her outfit. Super sick. I just might hold off on opening this and open it in the next video just because I have 2 more figures on the way. And I typically like having 3 in a thumbnail, so I might hold off on this and open it then. Of course, you do get some instructions, but honestly, this is such a simplistic figure, I don't think you'll need instructions, So we do get her extra headpiece. This one, she just has a really cute, simple smile. Pretty nice. And then we have March 7th herself. You got that clover shape. You'll see the shape a lot on her outfit, so it matches the figure pretty well. Of course, the facial expression she has by default on here is her winking face. Very cute. Mythos is really killing it with their Gift Plus line. A figure of this caliber for 6,000 yen is a pretty great deal. You can't really beat it at that price. Of course, I haven't taken a look at Apex's Lime Pie series yet, but Mythos so far has been shown to be the king when it comes to budget figures. Of course, you have companies like Banpresto, Taito, Sega, and they make the bulk of like the prize figure world, but I think if you want something just a tiny bit more pricier than prize figures but has an immense more amount of detail, Gift Plus is kind of where it's at right now. Just look at the hair sculpt on the bangs here. You even got the detail on the whipped cream here in the drink. Like, look at all those swirls and stuff. Very nice. The Legend of Heroes, Elaine Alclair from Kurano Kiseki. Another one for the Trails collection. Kotobukiya keeps pumping these out, and I'm pretty happy about that, especially with the recent 2 announcements for Alyssa and Laura. Very nice. Same standard Kotobukiya Trails box design. It's very uniform with the rest of them. Are you guys on Team Elaine? As much as I like Agnes, I have to go with the childhood friend on this one, especially since they were actually in a relationship before. So Agnes, you're technically the homewrecker in this case. If you haven't started playing Trails, I would highly recommend you do so, especially with the fact that the remake for Sky Chapter 1 came out, which is the first game in the series. I am quite sad with Trails right now though, because Falcom has decided to forego the Kai sequel in favor of the remake for Sky Chapter 2, which makes sense. I feel like they're ignoring their hardcore fans because we're all sitting here waiting for the sequel to Kai. And if you've played that game, well, you know, after that ending, this is kind of a slap in the face. I'm a little bit salty, but that's just me. Okay, anyways, Elaine's base. It's based off of her attacks in game, so, you know, fits thematically. You have her sword without the hilt. I assume the hilt is actually in her hand already, so you get the sheath. Very nice. And what is this? Oh, you get her ponytail. Okay, cool. Got some plastic here. Let's assemble her real quick. There you go, onto the base. Very simple. Ponytail on the back. Put the sheath in her left hand. Then you can add the sword in the right hand. And there you have it. That is Elaine Alclair from The Legend of Heroes Kurano Kiseki by Kotobukiya 1/8 scale figurine. Pretty nice. I actually forget how much she's priced for, but probably around maybe 20,000 yen. I can't exactly remember. Of course, Kotobukiya quality, pretty solid stuff. I'm not too much of a person when it comes to like the green color, but it does look really nice. Smooth paint job. I love the detailing on her outfit. You have the belts on the bottom rim of your jacket. Her leggings, her boots. Excuse me for being a little bit degenerate, but I didn't know Elaine's bust was actually that big. Maybe I just never noticed. And her facial expression is pretty dead on serious, which I guess kind of fits her a little bit. Not to say that Elaine has a resting bitch face, but you know, I don't actually know if Kotobukiya actually did a bonus faceplate for her. I wouldn't be surprised. They usually like doing that kind of thing. But yeah, she's also wearing a purse. I never noticed that either. Good hair sculpt, really sharp looking bangs. I like the strands. So we have the third bunny girl figure from Blue Archive from Max Factory, Akane. And yes, I'm still salty that Max Factory released her before Karin. I still can't believe it. How do you announce Karin before Akane and then have Akane released before Karin? It still doesn't make sense to me. I mean, saving the best for last, I guess. Well, box design is pretty much the same as their other Blue Archive bunny figures, which makes sense, right? You have the neon lights with the neon text combined with the holographic text as well. Akane has boing boing, which is pretty obvious as to why. The other two are blue, whereas this one is more of a dark beige brown. So here's the base. This is completely different than Toki's and Asano's. Asano's is more of like a completely fur type of base, whereas Toki's base was more of like a velvet smooth rug. Akane gets a chessboard, 2 accessories, which are her halo, of course, and her glasses. Oh, she is quite heavy. I think the bulk of the weight is probably from her hair. The amount of hair she's got is ridiculous. I mean, Asano's hair is pretty long, but Akane here definitely has more density. Now for assembly, I have realized that the hole in her bottom left leg is actually too small for the peg on the base. I had to take a little bit of my box cutter and chip off some of the plastic to make the hole actually a little bit bigger so it would fit. Hopefully you guys don't run into that issue if you decide to pick this one up, but it is something that I had to deal with. Her halo on the back of her head, I think this just goes in on the side. Then we can add her glasses. I'm just gonna kind of pinch it between her fingers there and hopefully that works. And there you go. That is Akane from Blue Archive, her bunny figure by Max Factory, 1/7 scale figurine. I mean, like the other Blue Archive bunny figures, pretty simple. Max Factory did an excellent job in terms of the sculpt work. You know, her legs look really good. Nice thighs, really good curves on her butt right there. I love the slight stomach details you can see. The highlight feature for Akane, of course, is her big bust. Absolutely ginormous cannons right there. Jesus. I also do like the bunny suit too. It's completely white in terms of both the leggings and the main suit, which you don't see too often. Like Karin has the default like black, and then Asuna has the blue, which really pops. Toki also has a blue, but it's more of a darker blue. Face sculpt is good. Good gradient transitioning as well. It might be a little bit hard to see because the shades are very similar, but the bottom side of her hair is darker compared to the top. So overall, I would recommend this figure if you're a really big Akane fan. Next up, we have another bunny figure, this time Nikke's Viper. This is her Toxic Rabbit version, 1/7 scale, made by Alter, the goats. My god, this box is so slim. Like, look at that. That is insane. Now, of course, I know it's a very simple figure, right? It's just a bunny figure, nothing too crazy, no huge base, no crazy pose. But you'd be surprised how many simplistic figures have humongous boxes when they could always just be this size. Manufacturers, you should take note. This should be the norm, not the exception. At first, I didn't really like Viper that much, but she grew on me. So of course I decided to pick up her figurine. Oh, Alter, how could you do this? You made such a great box, but then you used zip ties for the blister packaging. My day is ruined and my disappointment is immeasurable. All right, oh my god. The size of this is smaller than some of the prize figures I have. This might be just roughly the same size as an Android base. That is insane. So Viper looks like she does come with a little extra hand piece that has her phone. The little nice bonus there. Phone even has little trinkets on it. But of course, the main star of the show here is Viper. Oh my god, Alter, you guys are a bunch of cultured degenerates. All right, let's put her on the base here. Left hand, I believe, comes off. So if you want to use the phone one, which we will, we can just add that right on. There you go. That is Nikke's Viper, Toxic Rabbit version. 1/7 scale from Alter. Again, typically for bunny figures, you're mainly buying it for the sculpt work here. Alter definitely delivered. Really good looking legs, excellent thighs, and also a very humongous chest. God damn, I knew Viper was huge when it came to the chest department, but I feel like they might have upped it just a bit on the figurine, not that I'm complaining. In fact, is it bigger than Akane's? I think this is actually the first time I'm ever comparing breast sizes on figurines. Nope, I think Akane's still beat her out, but she's no slouch either. Of course, with Alter, great hair, really nice strand detail on the bangs, smooth paint job. This is probably one of Alter's best works when it comes to facial sculpt. Viper's face here looks perfect. It's so good that it's almost scary. I also really dig the pink magenta color she's got for her bunny suit. Kind of a bit tacky, but I think it really suits her. Fantastic stuff. I don't exactly remember the price for that one either, but if you're a big Viper fan, definitely pick one up. Also, if you haven't played Nikke yet, I'd highly recommend starting, especially now that they introduced the story mode, because before, if you wanted to get through Nikke's great story, you were kind of halted in terms of progression because your account needed to be a certain combat power to actually do the story stages. Whereas now with the story story mode, you can just breeze through it and enjoy Nikke's awesome story. So, especially after Goddess Fall, my god, I can't believe it ended like that. Can't wait for the next story chapter. Okay, and last figure up here is one that I've been pretty excited about. Is another addition to the Zen the Zone Zero collection, Nicole. What can I say? I'm a sucker for hot pants and tube tops. I also really like the characters that try to act like all that, but in reality, they're really clumsy. So the box for this is pretty much the same as their previous Zen the Zone Zero box for Anbi. I'm pretty sure most of the Zen the Zone Zero figures are gonna have the same box design, same base. Only a few of them are gonna be different, like Miyabi's, which by the way, that one looks super sick. Cannot wait for that. So of course you have the base here, which is the same, like I said before, the film reel. Pretty nice. You can separate it and just have a piece of clear plastic. You can do that. Although for Nicole, you might actually not even need the base entirely because I'm pretty sure she can sit by herself. Plastic wrapped around the suitcase. So as you can see here, she just goes down like that. So for those of you who are wondering, yes, the suitcase is attached to her butt, so you can't take it off, unfortunately. So in terms of assembly, you can just pop her down and there you go. Again, Apex showing off why they're one of the best manufacturers in the game right now. And I think they're the best Chinese figure manufacturer, actually. They really brought her figure to life here. I really dig Nicole's outfit and they did a great job on all the details here. You know, with the jacket, the logo on the back is there, really nice and sharp. You got the little crisscross section on her elbows, hair clips, ribbons, heart-shaped necklace. You got the tube top, the bang boo on the side, the booty shorts with the fur, the belt, the little patches on the back of her butt. I love how she has a legging on one leg and then the other leg is just bare. And you can even see the little rips in the legging. Can't contain all that thickness, which by the way, her thighs are extremely plump on this figure. The small little detail where you have the belt just wrapped around her thigh here. And her boots look really good too. Nice and detailed. The sculpt work on this is immaculate. Facial expression's great. I love the little smug look she's giving you. She knows she's got it going on. I will say this figure also has the best hips to waist ratio. Look at this. Talk about having an hourglass figure. Goddamn, really good figure from Apex. As a Nicole fan, I am very pleased with this figurine. It just gets me excited for the eventual Julian figure we're gonna get. I'm hoping they announce something at the next One Fest. Oh, which by the way, they're gonna have a Wonder Festival for the first time in the United States. Atlanta, Georgia, which is the most random place, if I would be honest with you. My first thought was, why not at AX, but then maybe they wanted to use a smaller event. Another thing I'm wondering is that Wonder Festival is not only a place where manufacturers announce and showcase off prototypes, but it's also a place for Japanese indie sculptors to sell their garage kits. So like, are they going to be selling garage kits there or not? I don't see many Japanese sculptors actually going to the event to sell stuff, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, that's pretty much it for all the merch I got this month. So if you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like, comment down below which figure was your favorite that I picked up. If you like the content and feel like helping out, consider checking out the Patreon page, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.